Good morning. Welcome to OptionsTender. It is Thursday, November 21st, 2024. Welcome, traders. We have SPY on multiple time frames. We're going to go through QQQ, SMH, IWM, and the VIX just to show you on the 65, really getting down to the nitty gritty and finding out where this market might go at this point. So we just did a market video for individual analysis YouTube members for $4.99. So make sure you check that out if you are a member. And also we're doing this intraday about 11:48 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're interested in getting these videos intraday, then consider becoming the supporter YouTube member. And you can get these. Otherwise, they'll come out at 4 p.m. anyway, if you're not interested. Okay, so I left this screen on here. This is my breadth watch list. And one thing that I noticed going into the sell-off today was that the advanced decline was around 100, and it steadily improved the entire time of the fall. So if you were short, that's kind of an indicator. And the very near term, I'm not talking about the swings that are out in December, January. If you're short very near term, that was telling you, hey, market is ready to bounce. And we're going to talk about the market bouncing and or making a new high. And I'm in the lower high camp, but we have to take a look at both sides, okay? So let me close this up and we'll go with SPY. And the only reason why I'm showing the multiple time frames at this point is we're consistently getting brand new members here. So we have the 2008 top, 21 top, and 24 top, okay? We're going to leave it at that. You can look at multiple videos that we've done in the past days to weeks in order to get much more information out of that. And so this formation here, a potential channel on the weekly time frame, we got rejected off of it, and we're forming some sort of inside candle at this point. This, again, we could go a little bit higher. I don't think that's the case, but I think we'll end up with a inside candle for this week, and I'll show you how that kind of triangulates on the lower time frames. Eventually, I think we'll test the lows here to out here in the future, and really this is our next big spot here. So just mark this in your write this down. 562 area. That's where the 20-week moving average is the breakout zone. So I think that's where we test in the near term. On the daily time frame, this is a better look of where I think price is going. So I think we're going to get a lower high, and then we're going to get a sell-off, a much more severe sell-off down to this zone. Here's the 565. That would be the conservative spot where it's the bottom of this consolidation. It also marks the top of this and this consolidation there, and good resistance here as well. So I think that will be a good zone. Maybe we get a bounce there, and we had a little bit lower to finish off market structure there into the uptrend line. And I think that would be a good spot for price to have a nice bounce and then a much bigger sell-off later on. All right, what else do we want to show? So just in the near term, we closed the gap here, rejected off of there, got a sharp move, and we're holding back on top of the 8 EMA. I think it's quite possible into tomorrow that we have, or even today by the end of the day, we have, if we do get to these targets, let's just go to the 65. So we can talk about this, okay? On the 65, here's the triangulation we're looking for. Now you can draw another one inside here. That's fine. That's what I have on the on another board. So that would be kind of the same concept here, and on the Qs you'll see it's much more clear. And so this is where we thought the zone where we would reject from. Now this could fill out just a little bit more, and I'll tell you why on the next page here. But ultimately, I think this. And I don't think we made a new low here. 583.86. Yeah, this is a higher low there. So yeah, this will confirm. We don't have a 5-wave structure here. And so this could say after this equilibrium that we break out for a new high. So we'll keep a good eye, a hawk eye on this downtrend. And so that's why price probably will test up here. All right, so if we test up there in the near term, that's about 590, let's call it 596 and a half. Okay, and that's where we have a pretty good resistance here as well, 596, from this bounce, support, and then resistance, okay? So that's a traditional look at it. Let's go to the other board and see if we can hash this out structure-wise. And now there's a lot going on here, okay? So since we don't have a 5-wave move down, we have to, if we're bearish, we have to count this as a 1, 2, and that's in yellow, 1, 2 in white. Okay, so at this point, I don't have it marked down here, but we had an A, B, C, and that could have been it. And that was all the way up to our 50% retracement. So that move could have been done and we break new lows. We did not. As a matter of fact, we held. So at this point, it could be just a larger, more complex A, B, and then a 5-wave move up. Doesn't matter how you count it. But this also, in my opinion, and this will kind of fit both bull bear scenarios. And there's an A, B, C for a wave 1. This is for the bulls. Pull back for wave 2, and that's why I had these green retracements here. This is a 1-2 setup. This full structure pulled back to the 62% retracement. So that's kind of that gave us a clue that the market would probably bounce at this point, and it's making a good move now. So in this volatility, we not only gapped up here for a possible wave 1, coming back for a wave 2, and now we're possibly into a wave 3. And that should continue to lead us higher. Now, let me take this out of here. In these retracements, we've already hit the 382 and the 50%. Let's clean our board up a little bit. Okay, so now we have the 62, and if we get above this and hold above, we're going for the 786. Look at that number, 596.26. 596 and a half is what we said. That coincides with the downtrend line here with the 786. Okay, so by tomorrow we could end up here. If we end up here today, I think that is we're gonna add on more puts. Sorry about that, you guys. We're gonna add on more puts. I think this will be a fantastic spot. Does price have to get back up there? We're already so deep here in this retracement. I think that's more likely now. But this was clearly the first. We got a nice rejection off of there. The 62% retracement was the 1-2 setup there. Okay, so if you're a bear, this is still almost the same way. We're even A, B, and now we have an ending diagonal because it looks like a 3-wave move. Okay. So a 1, 2, 3, and maybe a 4 and a 5. Nice diagonal. It should look pretty clear in the like some sort of a flag pattern on a traditional technical analysis going up into resistance, and I think this will break down. I think our top is in. I'm in that camp, but if it starts breaking above the 786 and holding above here, then I think it's more likely. Then the probability becomes that we make a new high. Okay, but until then, this is our objective short. We have all these time references here. I'm start clearing them up. They made bottoms, they made tops. So a lot of volatility. But tomorrow we have another one. Okay, so if we get into this top here, 522, maybe we gap up here, we end up here tomorrow, maybe we have a top there. Friday could ultimately be a bearish day, and then we have follow through into Monday. All right, so that's how I'm looking at this. And we talked about in the members video that Tesla's bullish. It's in a bullish stance. It should be the one that kind of carries everything while other things are bearish. But if it's going to make a new high, we'll probably see NVIDIA be pretty bullish as well. So tomorrow we could see IWM and DIA start to reverse and hold the market down, while maybe Tesla just really accelerates to its last targets, and then let's go and the market reverses. Okay, so let's, on that note, go to QQQ. And QQQ is almost in the same stance here. So when we're looking at our screens and we see price coming back to this uptrend line, it's when I said, hey, I think the market might bounce from here. We have this bearish rising wedge. We had a fake breakthrough there. We hit the gap. I think it's more likely that we close the gap, okay? And we might even retest the top of this trend line. I can pull it down just a bit so this touches here. So we might test the top of this trend line here just to solidify that this is the wedge. Throw over, back test of the wedge top, and then break down from there. I think that's more of the likely situation. And again, how can we hash out what's going here? Well, I drew in the triangulation here. And so I think this is more of the scenario. We got the pullback. I'm going to take those out. We talked about it on SPY. But now the retracements. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2. Could it be done right here? Absolutely. SPY could diverge from, maybe SPY continues to the upside tomorrow, hits those targets, but we get a lower high in tech. All that's possible. But what I saw from tech is I think tomorrow maybe tech will take over and maybe the other indices start to weaken a bit. Okay, so it's basically, in a nutshell, it's called rotation. Rotating into small caps right now, getting out of tech, and tomorrow maybe it reverses. But we hit the main target, it doesn't have to go any higher. If it does, again, A, B, 1, 2, and we're getting into 3, 4, 5, and all ending diagonals. That's why they look so corrective. And you could count it different. This could just be a more complex A, got our sharp B, and we just go for a 5-wave move straight up. So either way, we get up to this 507. Clearly, we're more negative than SPY. We're going to need some big tech stock to push higher. I chose Meta and Tesla, but we'll need those to step up and start pushing the market to the upside. So we might not get much more today into the close, but we'll see. Yesterday's close was quite exciting. After consolidating all day, we had a huge move into the close. Maybe it happens again. Let's go to IWM. And IWM will kind of speak for DIA as well. So notice this great resistance. We're back testing that right now. As a matter of fact, I think I might throw a short on for IWM for our group. Let's look at this. Back to the options expected move. This is an impulse wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have an ABC correction here. So let's look. Yep, right at the 50%. So really, this could go up a little bit higher, but we're already at good resistance. We'll leave this open. I might throw on a trade. I might not. If price does get a little bit higher here to 236, then that's a real good short. That's an even better one than here. Okay, so that's the former 136, 127 zone that we look for this consolidation. For example, here, that's the bottom resistance there. All right, and it looks like it wants to push. We'll see. VIX, and then we'll get out of here. VIX has just been strong. And after breaking out of this wedge, just building some structure. So now I think this structure here is done, and now we're pulling back. Do we have another low into tomorrow to get into that 1550 zone? I think that's looks like a probable situation. Starting to break down here. And where's it breaking down from? Really, it's just the sandwich between the moving averages here, the 200, and it's starting to gain some momentum on this 8 EMA. So does it need to go back and test here? I just think it's so volatile, it might, no pun intended, but or it just might get squeezed in here until it finally pops. And if it starts breaking out from this downtrend, then there's a good chance that that the high is in the market already. So we'll keep an eye. If it starts to break these new highs here, I think it's said and done at, we'll call it 19. If it breaks out from 19, I think it's going to go fill the gap, and price is already moving lower in the market. And that's never a good sign either. The dollar is heading up. It's hitting my targets there. So that's going to add some more pressure onto the market. Okay. That's what I got for you. Hope this helps. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.